the discovering that you're in an MS with the younger generation, a lot of it actually comes from speaking to those that are in MS relationships.
Yes, that are open and proud and say, this is my master and this is my slave. And they're like, whoa, I've heard about master-slave dynamics, but like, tell me about that. How does that work?
Talk to me about it. And it happened with the first couple. It happened with the second couple as well. We're like, are y'all not in an MS relationship? Because the way that you act.
Yes. I think that someone that is, I believe that people are inherently sort of put on a path, right?
Yeah.
Like, I am a big believer in fate, that if things happen, that's the way that things are supposed to happen. That's a big belief of mine.
Yeah.
And so if somebody is in a dynamic and they are running their dynamic as a MS without calling themselves an MS dynamic because they don't have enough knowledge or experience or whatever, but like they have these things sort of already ingrained in them as a person.
They're going to
maybe they have a military background, or maybe they grew up in a highly patriarchal or matriarchal household, and so they have these like inner working little chips that are falling into place for their fated dynamic style.
Yep.
That's where I think people discover they're in MS relationships.
Yeah.
Is they already run them like that.
And we kind of talked about this last night after talking with that couple. It's the dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And we talk about it with title holders a lot. Like one of the questions that is often asked in an interview, or at least in the mock interviews.
Well, I would also just say like you want to run for a title. Let's talk about
this is the general advice that I'm giving you, but this is it comes from a question that is generally asked of, if you don't win this title,
what changes?
What changes? The correct answer, I'm giving it to you right now. Correct answer is nothing.
Assuming that you are already doing the things.
Wanted. Yeah.
Like we were on a panel recently at an event called Sash Bash, which we can talk about here in just a little bit. But we were on a panel for title holders and like the power of a sash, because it's like a Miss America thing. It's like it's not Miss America, but like it's held to the same sort of pageantry a lot of the time.
Certain ones are, yes, for sure.
And like philanthropic expectations and like a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
The question was, what is your advice to someone who wants to be a title holder and isn't?
Yes, and the advice was you should already be doing everything.
Well, all of these other people were, these other title holders were saying, and like, they've not been in international or larger titles or anything like that. They said like you should be able to make time for your family and be able to make time for these things.
Extremely valid.
Which is extremely valid.
You should absolutely do that.
But like my opinion as someone who has carried international power exchange and Texas power exchange, like,
and now Texas MS.
And now Texas MS and hopefully Southwest and hopefully international at some point, like you should already be doing that.
Yeah.
Like if you should be already living your life, going to the cons and teaching at the things and volunteering in the capacity that you would be doing as a title holder.
Yes.
Like a title doesn't allow you to to do those things.
Yeah, you should already be doing it.
Yeah, like
if you want to be the change, if you want to see the change, be the change.
Exactly. If not you, then who? If not now, when?
Yeah.
Thank you, goddess.
Well, it's not just TGI, it was also Echo.
Yeah.
Echo did that.
No, they both did.
Echo got me with that one.
But like the thing is like if you're already living your life and you're already accommodating your life for the fact that I have these teaching obligations, I have these volunteering obligations,
or I want to do these things,
I want to do these things, but I also need to make time for one weekend a month. I need to, not go to a con. I need to stay home with my kids or my husband or my wife, whatever.
Yeah.
You should already be making those accommodations in your life
before you ever run.
Yeah,
nothing should change.
Like nothing should change. You should already be in leadership. You should already be on boards. You should already be out and advocating. You should already be making the change and living your life.
If that's going to be your platform, yeah, you should be.
But I mean, like,
whatever your platform is, that's what you should already be doing.
I agree, but like, even if you're...
But I'm not going to say that you should already be out teaching, because not every title is a teaching title. I'm not going to say that you should...
But I mean, you should be teaching in a mentoring capacity. You should, like, teaching in any regard.
I don't even say that. The reason that even, let's take the stand-in model titles.
Okay, fair.
Okay? Stand-in model titles, those are not teaching titles.
No.
They are not They're not philanthropy titles. Often it involves them, right? But it's not inherently what they are, right? It's not.
Yeah, but that's kind of where the expectation of any title has gone, is that you're going to use it to educate in some capacity.
I don't think so.
Even if you're going to educate just about the event.
So. Let's take a bar title. A bar title is not for education. A bar title is to draw more attention to the bar.
But you're still going to educate about the bar and
you're
the events
educate about the bar.
And
so
advocacy.
You need to be a sociable person that goes out and does those things. You need to go to all the gay bars. You need to meet other people. You need to be a sociable person.
Yeah.
You should
but
already
you still
be doing
need to
that
be already taking time
for yourself.
Yeah. Because if you are waiting for your title to get burnt out and be like, now I need to take time for myself. Like you've done this backwards.
Then you become the wuzzy that just is the title and then disappears.
That's why people disappear after their title for the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Because they're just burnt to shit.
And
they did too much.
I am a big believer in it's a lot easier to go from 8 to 11 than it is from 0 to 11.
Yeah. Depending on the person.
But think about it as an adult. If you are, this is a marathon race. This is not a sprint.
Yeah, no, it's less work, but some people
you can manage it a lot better if you're at a constant 8, where that is my normal.
Yes.
I add on a title now, which means that I have to adhere to a couple more things, and I have to now go to a con.
I now have paperwork I need to fill out.
Yeah, and I have a con that I have to go to that I wasn't planning on, and now I have to be in this Facebook group where I talk to everything like that. That's going from 8 to 11 versus oh shit, I have a title now, so I have to be at everything because I haven't been at anything before.
Yeah,
that's the 8 to 11.
Yep,
agreed. We had already had obligations through almost the entire year before we ever got the title.
Yeah. Nothing would have changed.
Nothing would have changed. We added one con.
Yeah.
That's all that we added.
Yep.
And it's the one that we're competing at.
Yes. Which we were probably potentially going to go to that one anyway. But because we wanted to compete for Southwest before Texas became a thing.
Yes.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that aspect of you should already, and taking that back to the MS aspect, you should already be living your life kind of in that way.
Yeah.
The only thing that changes at that point is the title.
Now you have a patch.
But with MS, now you're a master, now you're a slave. That's the only thing that changes. If you're already living your relationship that way,
you change your honorifics and your expectations. Obviously, you're going to change around those honorifics.
Yes. Yeah. But
it's like you should have a loose outline for what you would like your MS to be. And then when you discover, I'm already living this loose outline, let's tighten and hone it.
Yeah, tighten and hone it.